Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are all fine and doing well. This is class 9 English and I am your teacher, Mr. Jamil Malik. Well, dear students, today our topic is conditional sentences. Conditional sentences describe the result of a certain condition. As we see the title conditional sentences, so it means it describes the result of a certain condition. The if clause tells you the condition, if you study hard, and the main clause tells you the result. You will pass your exams. The order of the clauses does not change the meaning. Remember this. It can be written in alternative ways. Now look at these examples. If you study hard, you will pass your exams. Now concentrate over this example. The first part of this sentence, if you study hard, it is indicating condition as we are using if clause. If you study hard, and what will be the result? You will pass your exams. Okay. Now look at example number 2. You will pass your exams if you study hard. Now what did we do? We simply change the position of clause. In first sentence, we put if clause at the beginning of a sentence, whereas in second sentence, we put if clause after the main clause over here. Okay, this is the main clause, you will pass your exams, and this is conditional clause, if you study hard. So it did not change the meaning of the sentence. Conditional sentences are often divided into different types. Well, dear students, first of all, we discussed about zero conditional. We use the zero conditional to talk about things that are generally true, especially for laws and rules. Remember one thing, when we use zero conditionals, we use simple present tense. Now look at these examples. Number 1, if I drink too much coffee, I can't sleep at night. Number 2, ice melts if you heat it. Number 3, when the sun goes down, it gets dark. Well, dear students, if you look at these 3 examples, simple present tense is used for these 3 examples of zero conditional. And what is the sentence structure? Look at this. If, when, plus present simple, and then again present simple. I repeat, when we use if or when clause, it is written in present simple, and after that main clause is also written in present simple. Well, dear students, now we discuss about first conditional. We use the first conditional when we talk about future situations we believe are real or possible. We use the first conditional when we talk about future situations we believe are real or possible. It means we believe that something is possible in the near future, then we use first conditional. Now look at the examples. Number 1, if it does not rain tomorrow, we shall go to the beach. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, we shall go to the beach. It means we have used conditional clause at the beginning of a sentence, and then we have talked about the possible result. We shall go to the beach. Okay. Now look at example number 2. Barcelona will be top of the league if they win. This is the condition, if they win. Then Barcelona will be the top of the league. I repeat, Barcelona will be top of the league if they win. Well, in this sentence, we have changed the position of if clause as we have mentioned it after the main clause, but even then it did not change the meaning of the sentence. Now look at example number 3. When I finish work, I will call you. When I finish work, I will call you. In this sentence, we have written when clause or conditional clause at the beginning of a sentence, and then we have mentioned main clause. Well, dear students, in first conditional sentences, the structure is usually like this. Now look at the sentence structure for first conditional. If or when it is put in the beginning of a sentence, as it is condition. If or when is put at the beginning of sentence, then we put present simple, and after that we use will and then infinitive. It means when we use if and when clause at the beginning of a sentence, we use it in simple present tense, and then we use simple future tense. It is also common to use this structure with unless, as long as soon as, or in case instead of if. I repeat, it is also common to use this structure with unless, as long as soon as, or in case instead of if. It means we can use unless, as long as soon as, or in case instead of using if in these sentences of first conditional. Now look at the examples. Number 1, mother will leave as soon as the babysitter arrives. In this example, we used as soon as instead of if. Now look at example number 2. I don't want to stay in London unless I get a well-paid job. In this example, unless is used instead of if. Number 3, I will give you a key in case I am not at home. In case is used instead of if. Now look at example number 4. You can go to the party as long as you are back by midnight. In this sentence, as long as is used instead of if. Well, dear students, now we discuss about second conditional. The second conditional uses the past simple after if, then would, and the infinitive. Look at the structure. If plus past simple, then subject and would, and infinitive. The second conditional is used to imagine present or future situations that are impossible or unlikely in reality. It means the situations that are impossible or they might not happen in reality. Now look at examples. If I won the lottery, I would buy a new car. It seems an impossible situation because I can win or I cannot. If I won the lottery, I would buy a new car. Now look at example number 2. If I won a lot of money, I would buy a big house in the country. Again, it seems an impossible situation because if I fail to win a lot of money, then I would not be able to buy a big house in the country. So, if I won a lot of money, I would buy a big house in the country. Well, dear students, now we discuss some other examples of second conditional sentences. Number 1, if I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. Here, I probably would not win the lottery. This is why it seems an impossible situation. It means if I did not win the lottery, I would be unable to buy a big house. Now look at example number 2. If I went to bookshop, I would buy new books. Again, it seems an impossible situation because if I did not go to bookshop, it means I would not buy new books. Example number 3. She would travel all over the world if she were rich. She would travel all over the world if she were rich. Number 4. I would not worry if I were you. Well, dear students, when if is followed by the verb be, it is grammatically correct to say if I were, if he were, if she were, and if it were, etc. Remember, in simple statements we write I was, he was, she was, it was. But on the other hand, when we write if before these subjects such as I, he, she, and it, then we are supposed to put were after these subjects. I repeat, if I were, if he were, if she were, and if it were. These are all correct because we use if before these subjects. However, it is also common to hear these structures with was, especially in he and she form, when we don't use if before these. Well, dear students, I hope you have got complete idea of zero conditional, first conditional and second conditional sentences. If you have any question, please get back to me as soon as possible. Inshallah, see you in the next video. Take care. Allah Hafiz.